Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Sip Wisely podcast. It is the 15th of the month. That means it's a tasting episode. The highlighted distillery this month is Green River, so we'll be tasting 4 different bottles from that distillery. We also learned a few things, so let's cue the music. Welcome, bourbon aficionados, enthusiasts, and curious sippers alike, to Sip Wisely, a podcast brought to you by the St. Charles Bourbon Society. My name is Jonathan Lee, and I will serve as your guide on this journey through the wonderful world of bourbon. Whether you are a seasoned connoisseur or just beginning to explore the depths of this flavorful spirit, our podcast is your passport to discovery, education, and pure enjoyment. Here, we'll dive into the history, craftsmanship, and flavors that make bourbon more than just a drink. It's a culture, a passion, and a way of life. Join us as we uncork the stories behind your favorite distilleries, uncover the secrets of barrel aging, and decode the complexities of tasting notes and flavor profiles. Each episode is crafted with care to inform, entertain, and inspire your own bourbon journey. So, grab your favorite glass, pour yourself some of your go-to bourbon, and join us as we raise a toast to the finer things in life. From barrel to bottle and glass to lips, let's sip wisely. Cheers. Welcome everybody into the episode. Jonathan Lee here. I'm excited for this episode. Green River is just a fantastic product. I sat down and got to visit with the A1 Bourbon Group. They have a weekly bottle share, and it was pretty amazing, not gonna lie. Sat down with them and got their input on Green River, and it was obvious, and you'll hear it in the show, that they too really enjoy Green River's products. Very impressed with them. We tried 4 different bottles. Their flagship, which is 21% rye. Their wheated version, which is 21% wheat. Their foolproof version, which is also 21% rye and delicious, like I said in the cold opening. And then just for fun, we went and tried their Rye Whiskey, which I'm not a rye fan. And yeah, it was pretty darn good. So, the group has an expansive experience with bourbon. They've been doing it a lot longer than I have, and so I was very thankful and appreciative for them allowing me to sit down with them and to get their knowledge recorded for you all to listen to. Great insights into what they're tasting and smelling. It may have smelled like alcohol to me, but, I'm starting to pick up some of these notes. Maybe a little bit of cherry was starting to come through. A little bit of chocolate, definitely some oak, some corn, maybe a little bit of bread. I could just totally be making all this up, but, I'm coming around. So, I also want to remind you before we get into the episode, the purpose of these tasting episodes is for us to kind of taste these together. Yes, I know this is a podcast, and we're not really going to be in the same room together unless you happen to have been at A1 Wine and Spirits on this recording. But with the power of social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, we can share our thoughts around a product. So if you have a Green River bottle on your shelf, and it's one of those 4, which right now, as far as I know, those are the only thing available. They've got other products coming out down the road, but right now, those are all 4 products that they have. And you want to try it, share your thoughts. Does it ring true with what we were saying? Are you getting different tasting notes? Do you smell something different? All of that is perfectly fine, and we love to hear from our listeners. So, Facebook, X, Instagram, find the Sip Wisely podcast. It may also be under the St. Charles Bourbon Society. You may find it there as well. But share your thoughts. If you don't have any of those bottles and you're in the St. Louis area, more accurately, the St. Peters area, you better stop by A1 Wine and Spirits on Mexico Road in St. Peters because they will save you 10% just by using the secret code Horseshoe. Yes, that's Horseshoe because the bottle has a horseshoe on the bottom of it and it's shaped like that. Use that code Horseshoe and you'll get 10% off your Green River purchase, making it cheaper than anywhere else you can get it. My father was telling me about his other ad for another company that had this foolproof at this price. It was $10 more without the sale added onto it. So go to A1 Wine and Spirits on Mexico Road, say Horseshoe, you get a discount. Try that bourbon once you get home, not in the car. Don't do that. Get home, try it. What are you tasting? What are you smelling? Share with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Okay? All right. Let's get on into our tasting episode for Green River. Today's episode is proudly brought to you by A1 Wine and Spirits on Mexico Road in St. Peters, Missouri, your ultimate bourbon destination. Explore their exclusive single barrels, handpicked for unparalleled flavor. They also offer bourbon education classes where you'll unlock the secrets of this beloved spirit. But wait, there's more. With their exclusive reward system, you can gain access to premier allocated bottles, ensuring you never miss out on the finest selections. While we're on the topic of bourbon, let's not forget about their incredible selection of wines and other spirits, including rum, tequila, and vodka. So whether you're in the mood for a classic bourbon or something a little different, A1 Wine and Spirits on Mexico Road in St. Peters, Missouri has you covered. That's A1 Wine and Spirits on Mexico Road in St. Peters, Missouri, where the selection is vast and prices are great, allowing you to sip wisely. Welcome everybody into the 15th of the month episode. This is episode number, what are we on, 6? 6, is that right? Yeah, I think so. Third distillery, third tasting, so that would be 3 times 2 episodes a month. So yeah, 6. So we are on location for this episode, and I'm excited. Our sponsor for the show is A1 Wine and Spirits on Mexico Road in St. Peters, Missouri. I know everybody listening has been in there to talk to Salim and get those discounts we talked about. Well, he is here with us in the house, and he's invited us to his house to try these bourbons for this month. Our bourbon this month is Green River. Of course, you've listened to the first episode, so you know that. We're going to try 3, maybe 4 of their bourbons. We'll try their flagship, we'll try their wheated, and then the foolproof, and then also their rye. We'll see how much fun we have and how far we get, but those are the ones that we have before us. The first one we're going to start with is their flagship, the black label. It is the one they came out with. It's got a mash bill of 70% corn, 21% rye, and 9% barley. And that's what we're going to try first. So not only do I have Salim here, I failed to mention this, we also have a lot of these guests here that apparently do a monthly bottle share. And it's just like a whole-out party in here, I tell you what. So
it's weekly.
It's week, yeah. So we may get a little off topic, but I'm told I'm supposed to wrangle them back in. I will do my best, but so we've been here for like 7 hours or something like that. But no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm excited. So what we're going to do is we've got a bunch of them here. We're not going to go around the robin because we got 4 different bourbons we want to try. If they won't try it and they want to say something about what they knows, what they taste, they are welcome to. They're going to introduce themselves when they do so. So, if you will, try your first one, the black label, your rye bourbon. It's got the rye in it. Yeah, see on the nose, I smell alcohol.
I'm looking at the bottom. It looks like it's 90 proof, so kind of on the lower end there, too.
It smells traditional bourbon. Yeah. Is a lot of what this is. This is very traditional Kentucky bourbon. Little bit stone fruit to me. That's just on the nose.
I get a lot of chocolate.
Yeah.
Does anyone get that
I
chocolate?
I do
Chocolate covered
get
cherry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do get a little bit of chocolate.
I get a little bit of chocolate. I don't get a lot.
It-
I get more of a standard bourbon. You know.
It honestly, it reminds so a lot of people have had because I mean, you might not know this, but like I've brought a lot of like Barrel Kings down here, and he likes to add like he likes to age his stuff in stag barrels. That always adds that like chocolate cherry note that you get to it.
Yeah.
To me, this has that diluted. Like it's not by much though, by like
Yeah, the
10-20%
Yeah.
of that like chocolate
but
cherry.
you just get that light, very on,
Yeah.
on that one.
Yeah.
Slight
Like
peppermint.
this-
Almost like a cherry or chocolate covered cherry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I would even call it like a milk chocolate cherry rather than dark chocolate. It's not
Yeah.
quite bitter. It's still really sweet with
Yeah.
that chocolate
Oh, yeah.
flavor.
Very
And it's
sweet.
got-
It's got a very sweet.
And it's
flavor
got
to
a
it.
and you said it's got a rye mash bill, right? Too?
Correct.
So it's got okay. That makes sense. That makes it a lot sweeter.
So
I
when
can taste that.
I heard you say traditional bourbon, right? So when you say traditional, it's like I know I got a couple of people listen to it every month to month, and they're like, we need episodes on telling people what these words mean because I don't drink bourbon, but I still like to learn about stuff. So when you say traditional, what do you mean when you say that?
Just like the natural flavor of bourbon, you don't get a lot of the flavors. You just got like a lot of the oak and from the cat, from the
Like the vanilla.
the vanillas and
Yeah, you
stuff.
get
right? Yeah,
The
you don't really
caramel,
yeah,
toffee.
You get a
Yeah, Mike.
basic vanilla.
right.
You get a minimum amount I will call of like some sort of like cherryish
Or fruit. Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes cinnamon, not often, but and then you get this oakiness.
Right.
Like if you've ever been someone who's come out, if you've gone camping and you've taken an axe and just chopped wood in half and you get that like smell of like oak, like that. There's a little bit of that to it.
Okay.
So, which is technically it's a vanillan aspect to it, but
Gotcha.
All right. If you just see on the color end, it's like a little bit of light golden amber color. If you see most of the regular bourbon, which all of the bourbon companies that's situated in Kentucky or other place, you might see that color is prominent on each of their flagship bottle, which this also have. That means that got that traditional look and taste also.
And I think for me, the traditional bourbon itself is generally going to be in that 90 proof range for most standard bourbons. We're thinking like Four Roses or Elijah Craig or Buffalo Trace. They'll be in that 90 proof to 94 proof range. And this one's, again, right at that 90 proof. And I'm a big fan. It has some of that grain flavor in there too. My dad grew up on a farm, and he described some whiskeys as almost having like a hay bale barn almost kind of experience with it, with kind of a grain, almost like freshly mowed grass sometimes. This one doesn't have that kind of pungent smell, but some whiskeys do. We got a big thumbs down.
For grass.
I don't like the grass. I don't like the grass
But-
bourbon.
But some bourbons do have that flavor, and this one is just real sugary on the nose and even on the palate.
And it's
Well, I
a little
think-
sweeter because it's 70% corn, so you get that
Yeah.
little bit sweeter taste, that chocolate, that cherry notes.
This
we
is
know-
very easy.
Yeah, it's an easy
You know,
drinker.
Very good on the palate.
do we know that this is a minimum age of 4 years straight?
5.
It's 5. Okay, so no grassy notes. I do not get that.
No grass.
This is legit. This is
The
almost
grassy
like
notes
legacy.
are usually in that 3 year or less range.
This is a very good entry bourbon.
Correct. Very
Yeah.
intro.
A very nice
bourbon,
introductory
yes.
bourbon.
I appreciate the price range. I think we were talking about it earlier, that $35 for this bottle, or you and I were talking about it earlier. And, it's a great price. It's a great concept. It's a good sipper.
Yes.
Oh, that's any day.
Absolutely.
Any day, $35. This is
Yeah.
like Wild Turkey 101 level of just just give it to me.
This is
Take
a
my
great,
money.
This is a great entry point for somebody.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, those are want to go into the whiskey or bourbon. Very good entry level bourbon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I also love the horseshoe shaped bottles.
Yes.
Really easy to grab and
Yeah.
pour a little too much of, if you happen to know what I mean. But yeah, I love that horseshoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a story behind that, right? Of the building of the bottles. Like, there's a game you can play with them.
With the bottles?
Oh, is there? I don't know.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. So because like the bottles have, because I mean, well, you guys actually went there,
The horseshoe, yeah.
and talked about the horse. They talked to you about the horseshoe.
No,
game,
we
right?
rode more at the Bardstown.
Yeah, so well, because the bottom of the bottle is shaped like a horseshoe, and the middle is a little bit raised. So apparently the whole thing is it's a drinking game. And I haven't been there and haven't told me this, but like apparently you can take like pennies and or up to quarters, and you try to flick them into the middle of the horseshoe, and then whoever can get it in the middle, everyone else has to buy them drinks or something like
Ooh.
that. So yeah, that's like
All right, well, that's definitely after the show. We don't need those receipts anymore. We have a new way to earn that bottle down there. So, any new additions or any more comments about the flagship, the Black Label, before we move on to the next one?
Nope.
Okay.
Just another great bourbon.
Yeah, for people who just starting drinking bourbon, this could be a very good entry-level bourbon, and for their daily sipper, this is one of the go-to. Even for me, it should be one of the go-to.
Even for those that want to try it on the rocks or whatnot, this is great, very neat.
For the price
is.
point, especially.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, so we're going to move on to their wheated version. Now, the wheated version is very much like the rye, with the exception of, instead of rye, they switch it out with wheat. And so the mash bill is 70% corn, 21% wheat, and then 9% malted barley. And so we get to taste the subtle differences between that wheat versus that rye.
It's so much more mellower on the nose, for sure.
For those that are new to whiskey, rye generally brings kind of a black pepper spiciness, and when you switch that pepper out with the wheat, you get a lot more of the almost like a vanilla toffee a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Especially on the nose.
Like you
Especially on the
lose,
nose.
you trade baking spices for more sweet vanilla candy notes, for sure. And that's definitely what I get on this one.
I will say, I feel like there should be a disclaimer on all of our suggestions on flavor profiles, because we are whiskey people, and if you're not into the whiskey game, you're just going to say, that's just alcohol. And you're not wrong. But some of the more subtle notes will get drawn out if you're more familiar with different whiskeys.
And everybody tastes everything different.
Yeah. Everybody's
Right.
palate's different.
Absolutely.
Everyone's palate different. I mean, feel the orange peel. I mean, different flavors for everyone tastes something different. But those are fans that are weeded. This is a very good weeded bourbon.
Very good.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very smooth.
Very smooth.
Easy drinker.
Yep. Again, if those people entry, they like to have it on the ice, to dumb it down a little bit. But this on neat is very perfect. Just one of those great bourbons that you can taste that.
So actually, whenever you try any wheated, you might have tried a lot of wheated. There is one commonality between all the wheated is you get that a little bit of whiff, like the wheat stored for a long time. That is very, I don't know, you feel the sweetness on the nose, but sometimes I do catch that sweetness from the whiff of the wheat. It's most common in most of the wheated bourbon I have tried, and this got that hint of that whiff. Usually, sometimes it creates vanilla or frosted vanilla whiff, but there's a little bit of that on that one.
Yeah, I get a little bit of almost like a hazelnut pastry out of it. It's just, yeah.
So that's where I was gonna go. Is
Yeah.
You get this almost like frosting, yeah. It's not like going to a La Bomba frosting.
No.
But like
No, we're talking your standard continental breakfast pastry, but in that good way. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
like that sweet vanilla you get out of like a cinnamon roll when you're at a hotel. Yeah, like
Yeah, love it. Very
I
easy drinker. Great. Another good introduction for somebody who's not familiar with, say, like a weeder. You know what I mean?
A little
Yeah.
sweeter.
Yeah, a little sweeter. Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
Right.
You got a little sweeter
Well,
on this one.
good. Between the first one that we tasted and the second one, they took away the rye,
Yep.
21%, and they included 21% of the wheated.
Yep.
So it's kind of almost like the same mash bill as the first one. Second one, all they did was switch the rye versus the wheated.
Yep.
So you don't get the
so you get
baking
the
spices.
right. So
in
you get the
it.
sweetened of the
Yep.
corn still with a 70%, but still good on the wheated. I mean, very easy, mellow drink.
A big difference I noticed with the standard, the flagship one with the rye, almost a little tingle of the tongue, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
Like
right.
that spice does, but with the wheated, I don't get that. I still get a lot of
Right.
flavor.
Correct.
And
Right.
I mean, I don't know if it's continental breakfast flavor, but I still get some flavor.
Got a little bit of
With-
syrup going.
without the burn, without the burn
Right.
of the tongue, with the tingle of the tongue. But yeah, so it's very good.
So I would anticipate when we taste the rye, we'll get more of the burn fat. You know what I'm saying? You get that little
Yeah.
spice fat.
Yeah.
You taste the rye when we get there.
And for me too, I would challenge people that that might be out in the market hunting for that Weller Special Reserve, that green bottle, right? Don't go sleeping on this Green River Wheated because they bring a lot of the same wheat notes. And in my personal preference, I'm a big fan of the wheated whiskeys and bourbons. And this one is up there as a wonderful lower proof wheated product. So if you're looking for that green label Weller, I would give this a shot first. And I don't think you're going to be disappointed at all.
And it's going
I
to
would-
be easier to find and more
Yes.
affordable.
All right. I would say,
Amen.
Our third bottle is actually the same as the first one, but we upped up the proof a little bit. So
Yes.
the proof goes from 90 to 117.3 in their foolproof version. Now, what does foolproof mean? What does it mean for a bottle to be foolproof?
So to me, a foolproof bottle generally means what's coming out of the barrel or barrels, depending on if it's a single barrel or a batch. They don't water it down with anything.
Yeah, the main thing is you don't add water.
Right.
Whatever proof
They
it
don't
comes
proof
under
it
your.
down to that 90. They just proof it whatever comes out of the barrel. Could be 117, 115, 113, whatever comes out of that barrel. That's that full.
Or the mixture of the barrels.
Yeah, make sure. Right,
Yeah.
right.
Anybody else have a guess?
Well, for me as a consumer, foolproof generally means it's going to bring more characteristic to it.
Yes.
Whether that characteristic is good, which we hope for, or maybe we're going to get some maybe less than desirable characteristics coming out of it, but whatever is happening with that whiskey, the foolproof is going to bring more of it. Whereas if you proof it down with water down to 90 proof, the water is going to swallow some of those flavor profiles. And typically speaking, you're going to get a more diluted experience. For me, whiskey's all about the experience, and if you put water in it, even with an ice cube, you're going to dilute that down and change the experience that the master distiller really wanted you to have with a foolproof whiskey.
And based on what Salim said earlier, if you look at the flagship versus the foolproof, it's a lot darker. The foolproof is a lot darker.
Yeah,
Look
you
at
have
the
to
color
admire
on
the
this.
color
The
of
color.
this.
It's
Yeah.
deeper. The amber is just beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's a very beautiful color.
So here is what I've been told what it is, and this is from Gary Highgardner from Woodhat, and he said that because I asked, I'm new to the game. I've seen foolproof, I've seen cask strength, I've seen barrel proof. What is the difference between all those? And he said cask strength, barrel proof, basically the same thing, just adding different names to it. Foolproof has been proofed down to what what it went into the barrel at. So if if it comes off the still 117 and goes in the barrel 117, after 5, 6 years, whatever that happens to be, it may go up to 120, 122, and then proof it back down to the original foolproof version, which is interesting. So there could be a little bit of proofing down, but it all depends on how high it went, right?
Right.
If we have what's that one it's going to kill you, bourbon?
this thing, the hazmat, yeah, the hazmat 72.2 rye 316 year, yeah.
So if it comes out of the barrel like that, it's going to have a lot of water in it. But so it's going to be how much water is actually in there is depending on how high it comes out of. But that was what Gary said, and I'll take it as truth. But
As a millennial, I Googled it.
Did you?
And you are 100% correct.
All right.
Yeah, for me, what I think as a foolproof is like, for a company, they're looking for some taste notes, there are some parameters, and when you tick marks on that, and at the fullest strength, that means they have certain level for the range of the proof, and if it hits that proof and hit that flavor profile, it is considered foolproof. So it's at the maximum capacity, not in terms of proof, but the thing is at its flavor profile.
Really?
Right.
Because if you see at the single barrels, each of the single barrels are different taste profile.
yeah,
but this is for like
Definitely.
everyone,
So that-
like regular consumption. So
So it's not like
It's a big bag.
it's not like a government label then.
no, it's not.
It's not.
a label.
It's not an
like the
ATF label like bottle and bond.
right,
But
correct.
Yeah.
inside
okay.
the distillery, they have like certain parameters to consider them. Like, okay, if this has this characteristic, we should consider this at foolproof, and proof should be above. I think it should be 105 and above. I have seen at the most of the foolproof I've seen. The best we've seen is 107, which is foolproof, but still, this means that the full capacity of the flavor profile, what you can bring on the bourbon, it's the example you can see on the Green River foolproof.
Yeah.
All I know
yeah.
is this foolproof nose and taste is some of the best I've bought one of these already. Full disclosure.
Same.
Tonight.
I am glad I bought this bottle. This is up there. This is up there with the
Absolutely.
best you could possibly that I have ever tasted at this price point. Because it's what 40. How much is it? 46. 46.99 here
Yeah.
right now, but minus 10%. You think you said so?
And a lot of people
Hands down.
try to go for that
Right.
Weller foolproof. And, of course, secondary prices,
Good
blah, blah,
luck.
but
Look at the legs on
I
this
mean, if
thing.
you,
Yeah, I was
if you
gonna say, it's
score a
thick.
Weller
Yeah.
foolproof, great for you, but I would take a foolproof any day.
Yeah. Green River,
Yeah.
without a
The
doubt.
Green River,
Yeah,
Out of
definitely.
doubt. Out of
Yep.
doubt.
Oh,
It's really good.
Jared, I hate to say it, but this is the bourbon. This isn't weeded like the Weller. So this
Yeah.
would be more in comparison to something like a high rye
1792.
foolproof.
Right.
Like a 1792 foolproof
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
sprinkle in
benchmark,
almost even like, benchmark.
benchmark, wild
yeah.
turkey, rare breed.
Right.
Right.
Uh,
So those rye bourbons versus the wheaters. So,
Oh, yeah.
but
I agree.
that being said, the flavor profile coming out of this is fantastic.
It's
and
definitely more viscous.
Thinking about-
Yeah.
How much-
It's almost like the first one we tasted, right? It has almost all the same notes and everything. It just got the higher proof.
It's a level up.
Yeah,
It's
because
Yeah.
just,
Right.
got that little kick.
It's
Yeah.
enhanced
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one we tasted, this one is just basically on steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just-
Exactly.
you know,
So
I
much
mean,
more.
it's just
Right, right.
everything's
Because you go from 90 proof to 115, 117, whatever it comes out,
yeah.
And I'll be honest, for me, as a big wheated whiskey, wheated bourbon fan, the difference between the low proof bourbon to the high proof bourbon makes me wish, fingers crossed, that they release a high proof wheated. Because if you're a whiskey person, you want that higher proof whiskey because it brings those really nice, more powerful flavors. And
Right.
and the flavors that's coming out in the full proof is just that much better than the lower proof bourbon. And I'd be excited to sample, a high proof wheated because of
Yep.
the flavor profiles that are in both.
If they sold,
agree.
We're gonna get the not possible, but we're gonna get the wheated barrel pick soon. We've been talking with the Green River.
You heard it here first.
One of our friends group already picked the first ever Green River for the Missouri. Don't want them to do a
If these weren't brand new mics, I'd drop one. Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah.
but can you get this in handles?
Right.
That's kind of the level that I need of this for the full proof.
And this just lingers longer for me. On the
Yes.
palate.
I mean,
I
Very,
really
very, yes,
enjoy
yes.
this.
So those you want to linger longer, yes.
I
Very,
really
very, yeah.
Even if you see the earlier version, the regular, the flaxseed bourbon, it was like a light undertone. You can just sense it, on the caramel and vanilla. But you smell this one, it just right off and it stays on your nose for a while.
Yes.
And you sip it, you get that sweetness very quick, and it goes to your back palate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then the rye start playing with you, and it is like all balanced, I think.
And I think for me too, a lot of people that might be having a little aversion to the slightly increased price point, when you drink a higher proof whiskey, it sits on your palate longer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's got more alcohol in it, so you probably don't need to drink as much anyway. But you also don't need to drink as much for the flavor because it's going to sit with you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A lower proof whiskey is going to you're going to taste it and it'll dissipate quicker. But the higher proof whiskeys generally will sit on your palate. You'll get to savor those flavors longer, and you don't even need to drink as much for the experience of what that master distiller wanted you to have, because it sits with you longer too, which is
Very good.
a really important thing that I think some people miss.
I think one of the cool things about this bottle, again, is because it's under $50, if you're new to bourbon, if you're new to whiskey, and you're trying to build that first little impressive bar, a bottle like this is going to be a good bottle for your collection as you're getting started. For like your bourbon buddies who are a lot further along than you, they're going to appreciate this pour when they come to your house. No one's going to be disappointed in it. And for a bottle that's under 50, that's a really cool note to, take advantage of with a bottle like this. I mean, nobody here, we're talking well-experienced bourbon drinkers here, and nobody's disappointed in this bottle. So being new to bourbon, this is a good pick, for sure.
Oh yeah.
And
Absolutely.
If you're scared of the 117, you can throw it in your ice cube, and that's
Yeah,
going to bring
right.
it down to 90 pretty quick.
Right.
And that does make a big difference.
Not only an ice cube, even just a couple drops.
So just-
uh,
it's just
Or drop
yeah, a
more.
couple
Just-
drops.
You're right.
changes
Jared,
the
couple
profile, yeah.
Just like you said, a couple eyedropper flows. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It doesn't matter. It's amazing what that does to
Yeah,
a profile.
right.
I think
good.
one of the main points that we talked about earlier too is everybody's flavor profile is a little bit different. So, if you have to, I say have to, if you want to water it down or put an ice cube in it to change the flavor profile, any real whiskey person isn't going to bat an eye because it's yours, right?
Mhm.
It's your bottle.
Yep.
You can drink it however you like.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yours to enjoy.
If you pour Coke into it, we might kind of cringe a little bit. But
It's still your bottle.
It's still your bottle. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Yeah, this is being the third month. We've talked to 3 different reps or distillers, and they've all have said that.
Yeah.
That anybody that drinks whiskey will tell you, my palate. This is what I'm tasting, but it's going to be different than what you tasted because your
Right.
palates are different, and that's okay.
Right.
That's the experience of drinking this particular spirit.
Well, most people with whiskey, they start off with the Coke and whiskey, and then they graduate to just whiskey and ice, and then they start graduate whiskey and a little bit of water to where it's just whiskey and neat. So, you get all those profiles, different tastes, and then just whatever you pick, you like, and you go with.
Yeah, that's one thing you find out here in the tasting. Everybody's got different palates.
Right.
And it could be something somebody likes tonight. Somebody likes something that's like, I didn't really care for that.
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
But you respect that, right? Because it's a palate.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Right.
palate.
All right, so we're at the 30-minute mark. We got time to try the 4th bottle.
Ooh, yeah.
And we've got someone who's got a curfew that they have to hit. So we've got to make this quick. So we are going to try the Rye Whiskey, which, let me check the mash bill. It is still 95%. It is 95% proof, and I believe it's 95.5.
Yep, absolutely.
You can Google
Barley,
it.
the 5%. Yep. Before Prohibition, they were like
It's a really
one
good
of the
rye.
top 10.
Mhm.
And that's why they number 10. They were up and coming in the course Prohibition, and then they started back up in the 90s, 2000s. They started getting back up to where they were before. So
Yeah, Karen shared that it is the most expensive bourbon ever sold.
yeah,
It was back in the Prohibition days.
Yeah.
Someone really, it's a good story. So I can't rehash it right now because I don't remember all of it. But you have to listen to that first episode to catch it. It was pretty neat.
There's the hook.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Going down to
that's
Kentucky
a
next
really good
week.
ride.
Going to Green River.
Are you?
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
Do
So
it live.
You talk about that hook. The other hook to watch to listen to the first episode and also this one is to get that secret code. So this episode and all the other episodes are sponsored by A1 Wine and Spirits. They do give you discounts on the bourbon bottles that we celebrate, but you have to use the special code. And this month's special code is horseshoe. Why? Because there's a horseshoe in the bottom of the barrel.
Yes.
So, or bottom barrel. Oh, the bottom of the bottle. So you come
Getting
into A1 Wine and Spirits in Mexico Road, St. Peter's, and say horseshoe, and that will give you 10% off your Green River purchase. And if you don't get it, then just talk to Sully, and he'll go from there. But no, it's great. So what do we think about the rye?
This is a really
this is
good
easy
ride.
ride.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's a very easy
Very
ride.
good, yeah.
Vanilla,
For
graham
people
cracker.
who are
I mean,
hesitant
come on.
to try a rye,
Alright.
this is a good place to
So-
start your rye journey.
I was gonna say, I feel like I got to come back on my comment I made earlier on how typically the rye grain creates a black pepper spice to it.
Yes.
Right. It creates, almost a sharpness to the flavor profile.
Slight bitterness. yeah.
Where this one, even on the nose, you don't get any of that black pepper.
Mm-mm.
And
no.
you don't, and that's where on the flip side, the other side of rye is sometimes you'll get almost like a citrus between like an orange or lemon citrus.
Yeah.
Citrus and baking spice.
Yes.
Yes,
That-
and
yeah.
on the nose on this you get a beautiful citrus nose, but on the palate you lose some of that citrus flavor, and it turns into a little bit of spice. Not so much that it's overwhelming. But the play between what your nose picks in on the citrus, but what your palate picks up on the pepper, is a really cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah.
I would say
Oh, yeah.
Very pleasant.
I would-
Very.
I would call this like second tier bourbon drinkers rye. So like, to me, because like you get this is like a sweet rye for most ryes that I've had, like real deep rye. It's like this is a sweet rye. But if you're somebody who hates rye, you just like, oh, I hate rye, I can't do rye whiskeys. You try something like beginner's level, like super sweet, like Sazerac rye. That's like a bourbon drinker's rye. It's so sweet. It goes into anything, any mixed drink. This is the next level. This like Sazerac. Most people don't like sip that. They put that in a mixer. This is your first step of like sipping a rye. To me, this is super sweet. You don't get the peppery notes that you get out of other ryes once you start getting into
Still
ryes.
the floral and the
Yeah,
sweetness, yeah.
like you
Definitely,
get the base level of those baking
Yeah.
spices, and like
the
it's,
vanilla and graham
and the
cracker.
vanilla and graham
Yeah.
cracker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would say the
Like-
vanilla
like-
graham cracker all day long.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what excites me when it's a rye? Usually, I'm also not a rye drinker, but some of the rye I like it so much.
Yes.
The only thing that excites me in a rye is that this also have it. The front palate is always a juicy and apricot. I'm a very good fan of apricot. You get that juicy apricot, like the fruit flavor, right?
Yep.
And this amazed me. Like this one has the ending with the brown sugar on the brittle of the brown sugar, and I was like, huh? Rye is having a brown sugar at the
There's
back palate.
There's a lot of brown sugar. On
Yeah.
the back end. Like
So you're really getting that sweet heat on front and again ending with the sweet. So basically you don't feel like you're having a rye on this one.
I would have to say the same thing as far as I don't. I started off drinking bourbon as a weeded thing, and then I started with the ryes and that, and Green River was the first rye that I had. But I liked it the best because it was kind of the entry level, I guess, as far as the peppery notes and that. But then it finished in the sweet or whatever, and then it kind of progressed from there. Or so by far, I like this the best. I go back to it all the time. So but that's just me, or I mean, I'm not a big rye person. So as far as the people that are like scared to try rye, this would be definitely one that I would try.
I
So
really wish this would have been the first rye I tried.
yeah.
The first rye I tried, I was like, oh, I never want to try a rye again.
Right. Exactly.
My palate has changed, and this would have been what I would
Yeah.
have loved to have.
Were you like
first.
90% of other Americans where your first rye was like bullet rye?
Yeah.
Right.
And you get that
plus,
spice and that
the price
burn.
point is very good on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
the point.
Awesome.
You're the one I wanted to hear from most because when you first joined this group, you did not like rye.
No,
Right.
not at all.
Hated rye, and you've slowly built up into like accepting rye, and you're at the point of bordering liking rye.
Yeah,
So
there's ryes that I do like now, but I don't remember what I tried first. I really wish this would have been first.
Yeah.
And then
Everybody's
ease my way
flavor profile is
upwards,
different.
You know?
Right. Exactly.
So a beginner's question real quick, and we're almost done out of time. But we said we tried the Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, the black flagship. I only had like 4 bourbons, so and then we went to their wheated bourbon, and then we had their foolproof bourbon. But now we're having a Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey. Why is bourbon not in that title?
It's the mash bill.
Nice, Bill.
It's
Okay.
all on the mash bill.
Yeah.
Which means what?
It has to be at least 51% corn.
Correct.
It's got to be at least 51% corn.
Yes,
And it's
you can
also
play.
got to be made in the United States. So you red, white, and blue, right? I'm all for that. Let's go America. But if it's a Kentucky Straight Rye, it doesn't have to follow that 51% corn profile. And so that's why it's not a bourbon, is it's not 51% corn anymore.
Yep. So the rye is 95% rye with 5% barley, and then all the other ones you've had, mostly, actually, they've all been 70% corn.
Corn, yeah,
And then they switch out 21%, whether it's rye or whether it's wheat. So that's the big difference for those who are saying, because we said this is a great beginner for rye drinkers. This has been a great beginner for bourbon drinkers. And so 2 different kind of profiles in case you want to, determine what you're interested in there. So, all right, so we've come to the end of our time. First off, I want to thank everybody at this table. I know we're all on like drink number 15, 17, whatever. But I appreciate all of your input on this episode, and appreciate all the knowledge you guys shared out with our audience.
Green River is awesome.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
agreed.
know that they, again, Prohibition, they stopped and then they started. I mean, but Green River's come along and, again, phenomenal stuff. that
They're a
doing.
player right now.
Yeah,
They're a
that's
player.
right. Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
You're talking 4 bottles,
Yeah.
under $50 each,
Yep.
and there's nothing wrong with picking any one of the 4 or all 4 at the same time.
Right.
I mean, this is a great start for any bourbon.
And even a seasoned bourbon drinker.
Oh no, agreed.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
I wish I had a time machine that could travel me 2 years to get them to that 7-year mark on all their stuff, to where it starts going it's prime bourbon at that point to me. So I can't wait for that. This is a bourbon I'm going to follow.
Yeah. Now the hunt.
I like it.
Yeah. Now the hunt begins for the single barrel.
Right. Plus, I'm going to Kentucky next week. Doing Green River their tour. Can't wait.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
And it will be a shock to share the news that being a store representative, after Buffalo Trace, this is my highest selling individual brand without pouring a sample. So it has a great fan base for the state of Missouri. I think the numbers are doing good. And we are trying to support Green River from day one. We trust in them. And I hope they bring some cool stuff, and it will be available in Missouri pretty soon. Since it's now we are waiting for the single barrel. I hope, finger crossed, I heard they're coming, but I hope they will release it soon so we can enjoy another profile from the Green River, right?
We all have our fingers crossed for the single barrel.
Right, yeah.
Hopefully it comes up before July 31st. That'd be
Yes.
great. 10% off. Yeah.
That's a really good point.
So, till just July 31st, come in, say horseshoe. They may look at you funny, but you get 10% off any Green River bourbon. So appreciate Salim and A1 for sponsoring the show. Again, appreciate everybody else for being here. Check it out. We got 5 other episodes you should have already listened to. If you haven't done so, it's great listening in the car. I know this guy has to go. He's going to tell him to wrap it up. So we are finished heading out of here. Thank you very much. See you next episode.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, what a fun evening. So much fun having a great conversation around bourbon, both on and off microphone. I have to tell you, got to try some great stuff, including these 4 bourbons or 4 whiskeys from Green River, and I learned a lot, about kind of what they were tasting, and I could kind of pick up some of those things, we talked about in the show, and you've heard it in previous episodes, that just because someone says this is what they're tasting is not exactly going to be what you get, because everybody's palate is a little different. But the power of suggestion does kind of play in a little bit, and you will start getting some of these. And so as I'm tasting more outside of these episodes, I'm trying to start formulating my own opinion, and that's kind of what we want to do with these. We don't want to put in your head, when you have foolproof Green River, this is what you should be tasting. But we want to encourage you to say, hey, everybody is tasting something a little different. And we kind of got that with this episode where, one person was saying they tasted one thing, and then the other one said, oh, yeah, kind of, but it's really more like this. And so it was really interesting to kind of see the differences amongst the table, because there were 8-9 people there tasting all these products. And so a lot of fun. Very thankful for them allowing me in to their group and recording this episode with them. And so, yeah, hopefully you got a lot out of it. Hopefully now you know what a foolproof officially means. Don't let it fool you. I was pretty surprised when I learned, because there's definitely, which we learned actually in the holiday episode, that there's a lot of distillery vocabulary they like to throw out there, like what I believe Kyle called puffery. And so, don't let that confuse you. Foolproof, cask strength, barrel proof, all of it's very similar, but foolproof is actually a little different. So it's pretty neat to hear that and to see that Google backed mine, or I guess Gary's definition up. So pretty cool. All right. Don't forget to go out there, if you have not done so already, to get your own bottles of Green River A1 Wine and Spirits, Mexico Road. Use the keyword horseshoe. Save 10% on your Green River purchase. Okay. Another distillery next month. What's it going to be? Keep an eye on the socials for it. I'm not telling you now. You have to wait. August 1st, new distillery. Can't wait to share it with you. Have a good one till then. Sip wisely. Thank you for tuning in to the Sip Wisely podcast. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button to get the latest episodes. Don't forget to visit our website at stcharlesbourbonsociety.com for the show notes. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please share them on social media. Follow us on all platforms by searching for St. Charles Bourbon Society. Our goal is to equip you with the knowledge to sip wisely. Cheers.